My name is James Williams. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. I'm having a really rough Tuesday. So, let me talk about some things that piss me off. So, the first thing that pisses me off is I'm on my third run or so at this Mass Effect game. Because, I need some things to hold me over until March 21st. And what pisses me off on the Mass Effect games is the DLC comic book. Alright? Now, I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, and if you haven't played the first two games, you decide to take a shortcut and just play the third game and you get the DLC comic book. Well, it leaves off all of the great details necessary to have certain characters. It leaves off Gianna Parsini. It leaves off the twin from the nightclub. I can't remember her name right now. And it leaves off Comrade Werner. Three very important parts in the game to me. I don't know why they did that. It leaves off little details. It leaves off certain things that needs to be done. It leaves off like the little shit that you don't get to notice. It leaves off what happens to the guy uh, Parsini arrest. It leaves off all these little details that also impact the game. Because if you don't go to wherever the hell she is, that's a whole different game in itself. If you just go, well, you still have to go there regardless because that's like a key character when you go to get Venezia or whatever. But it leaves off a lot of stuff that goes on there. It leaves off the guy who tried to hustle out of the past to get there. And another thing with the comic that leaves off, what about Captain Kirhi? And how the fuck do you save him and keep him in the game? If you send Caden or Ashley with them, how do you keep his ass alive? And does your games ever glitch? Because one time I sent Caden there, and I went to go back him up, and Captain Kirhi was on that fuel thing, standing there still shooting at Saren. But how can a dead man be shooting at Saren if Caden told me over the radio that he's dead? Also, they don't tell you what happens to Commander Ventrola or whatever. They leave a lot of stuff off. When you get the game 2, 2 years have passed, but you don't know what happened to Kirhi if he lived until you get to game 3 where he's Major Kirhi. And I don't know how the hell you went from being a captain to a major, because I believe that's a demotion. Because I believe once you're a captain, you're like high ranking. Captain's higher than a commander. But I guess it depends on the ranking, because commanders in the army or commandos in the army are pretty high ranked. And I guess in the Navy things work differently. But a major is in the army as well. I don't know how the hell that shit works, because I was only a private. I never got any further than a private. But anyway, freaking they leave off so much stuff. And then when you do the comic, if you take the shortcut and cut through all that crap just to play the third game, it pretty much leaves you in flux because you didn't really do anything. And then when you play all the way through, you get the full effect of the game. But when you do the comic, you get like maybe 75% of the game taken away from you, because when you play the first game, you work hard to get through all this stuff, and then you get everybody set, you're invested in everything, and when you get to the second game, some of the people from the first game come back to bite you in the ass, sometimes they don't, and it's just a damn shame that when you use the comic, it leaves off 3 primary characters, which her name is Jenna, the twin, that doesn't show up, and then Gianna Parsini's not even in the third game, and Comrade Werner's in all 3 games, providing that you meet him and greet him. Well, in the game I'm doing now with the Femshep, and I believe her name is Tiger Lily, I don't get to meet Comrade Werner because I shot him. I shot him in the first game. And then when I tried to transfer it over to the second game, it didn't transfer over, so I don't get Gianna, and I don't get Comrade Werner, and I don't get the twin that didn't show up. So, I also don't have any knowledge of Kirhi or Rentola, because I did actually save Kirhi in that game, but when it transferred over, it wouldn't transfer anything. So I had to recreate the whole thing and go through the comic book, which kind of really blew my mind, because I don't know why the shit wouldn't transfer, which really pissed me off. But, what can you say? Now, on the other hand, the comic book is a hell of a shortcut if you just want to play the final game to get you going until you get Andromeda. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm hoping like hell that Andromeda is going to be the shiznick of the Mass Effect series. I enjoyed the first 3 games. I thoroughly enjoyed them. Not too fond of the comic book, but I have used it when my PlayStation was erased. So, since that's happened on more than one occasions, I've recreated characters that I've had and just did the PlayStation. So, I create thousands of them chefs, and some of them will not be completed because once Andromeda comes, all those things are going to the side, and I'm going straight into Andromeda with a whole fresh new look on this whole thing and hoping like hell that it's going to be the shiznick of all shiznicks of video games. I don't want it to be a hype machine, and I'm not here to hype it up. I'm only here hoping that everything I've seen from Andromeda Nerds, Minius GC, Carl and Douglas, BioFan, all those guys. I hope everything isn't just going to be a hype factory and that we're going to get disappointed. I'm also hoping like hell. The only thing that I'm hoping like hell for more than anything else other than it not being a hype machine is that we have some decent fucking endings. And not that BS that promises were broken because some ass had leaked all the stuff out. And I'm going to tell you right now, had I been in charge of that, we still would have had the 17 endings promised. Yeah, we would have had them all. We also would have had that big boss battle. Of course, I didn't know about any of this stuff because by the time it came to the PlayStation, the riot was over. Which is generally how things work when games are only specifically exclusive to one system or another. Now, Mass Effect originally only came to the Xbox and PC. But there are a lot of people who really like Mass Effect, but they just are more like me and refuse to convert to buy a system for just one game. Which makes sense when you think about it. Why should I go to Xbox for just one game? Now, don't get me wrong, for all you Xbox fans out there, I'm not insulting you, I'm just telling you the truth. The Xbox is not for me. Alright? If it's for you, it's not going to change my political affiliation towards how I feel about you. It's cool if you love the Xbox more than you love the PlayStation. There's no crime in that. But for me, I'm all about the PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation fan for life, just like I'm a nasty girl for life for the National Guard. But the problem is, Xbox gets different games that PlayStation doesn't get. Xbox has Gears of War. PlayStation has God of War. And I use that as an analogy for the simple fact that I don't know if God of War's ever gone to Xbox, but I do know that Gears of War has never come to the PlayStation. However, Gears of War is a damn good game. I've played it. I'm just not an Xbox fan. I'm not going to go buy an Xbox so that I can play one damn game. As a PlayStation fan, I either will pray that the game companies decide, hey, let's smack this shit over to PlayStation 2, or I'm just going to have to go watch my cousin play the games on the Xbox, and when he needs me to help him beat a board, there we go. I'll have some game action. That's how I got into Mass Effect. I watched them playing it, and when the shit finally came to the PlayStation, boom, I bought the third game, because the third game that came to the PlayStation, apparently the second game came there too, but I didn't know that. So I bought the first game I bought for Mass Effect was Mass Effect 3. I beat the game, and I killed everybody, including myself. I don't know what I did wrong, but the screen didn't have the green ending. It had like the red ending, and everything was gone. And Shepard didn't even show him take his last breath. It just ended, and I was like, well, damn, I don't want to do that again. So then I got the second game and played the second game to the third game and went on. And then the SAGA came out, so I bought the SAGA. Which everyone's like, well, you could just go buy the Xbox and get the whole damn game. I was like, okay, look, I don't have 500 cents, let alone pay $345 for an Xbox and one damn game. Granted, I love Mass Effect, and I probably would have done that had it not came to the PlayStation. But I'm not an Xbox fan, and I don't believe in wasting money that I don't have on something that I'm only going to play once. Of course, in the effect that when I bought the Mass Effect Saga, I've never stopped playing it. I'm playing it till this day, and I also have a PS4 now, so I'm not really gonna buy a lot of games. I'm not that deep of a gamer. I'm happy that I can play the game, but I'm not that too deep into games that I need to expand my repertoire. Now, if a great game come out like Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm looking into that. I'm thinking, I might want to get that. It just comes out on a really bad day for me. So, I'm not going to go into detail on that day. But anyway, it does come out on a really bad day. It looks like it's got some tribal Native American type stuff, but it's all, like, not Native American people. and it's in the future with like it's kind of like Native Americans and Cadillacs and dinosaurs and Avatar all kind of combined. If you don't like Cadillacs and dinosaurs, you should probably check out the cartoon so you understand why I liked Cadillacs and dinosaurs so much. And by the way, one of my videos I made a mistake. Cadillacs and dinosaurs was not done by Marvel Comics, but they may have had their hands in the cartoon play like they did with Defenders of the Earth. However, it was done by Topps. Topps Comics have Cadillacs and dinosaurs, which is why when I was looking for them, I couldn't find them because I was looking for a Marvel comic that does not exist. However, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was a pretty good comic book. It was a pretty good cartoon, but we only got one season here in Charlottesville, so I don't know if they ever finished it or whatever. I just know that I seen maybe 5 or 6 episodes, and then it didn't come on anymore. It's the same thing with Cyber 9 and Cyber 6. Both of those were two really good cartoons that came on Fox when Fox used to actually be the only cartoons left at one time for those who were born before 1982. Cartoons used to come on every channel, and I'm totally off base, so I'll do another video about that. Anyway, in closing, the comic book is basically kicking the ass for you Mass Effect fans. I'm James Williams Jr., just come for number 2. Be seeing you.